Moyen, hello. Today I'm going to talk about kanjis. I need to tell you that I started to learn how to write kanjis when I was in Japan. Before that, I didn't write any kanjis at all. I'm going to explain why. Well, first of all, I've just been learning Japanese just for fun, okay? It is a hobby of mine because I like learning languages. And so therefore, for me personally speaking, it is not really necessary how to write any kanji at all. And also, the thing is, I've been learning Japanese while living in Luxembourg. And because of that, for me personally, it doesn't make any sense at all to learn how to write any kanjis. Let me explain it in this way, okay? If your goal is to learn Japanese just for fun and you don't want to live in Japan, but maybe you want to go there just to travel as a tourist, or maybe you want to stay there for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, I don't know, then this is my personal opinion. Then I wouldn't really recommend at all to learn how to write kanji at all, because the truth is it is really time consuming, and also in today's world, right now, it is for us completely normal to write a lot of emails and also to type. I mean, to use our phones to type anything. And the other thing is also that, I mean, you have to be honest with yourself. How often do you write anything? And I do not mean, for example, an email or, for example, a message, but I'm talking about, I would say, a letter. Maybe you want to write a letter and you want to send it to someone, okay? I mean, how often do you do that? I am being honest, okay? I almost only write emails or only messages. So in my case, it does not really make a lot of sense to learn how to write kanjis at all, because even in my native language, or maybe the other languages I know very well, which are in this case German, English, and French, I almost only write emails and messages, but almost never letters. And so this is a thing, you have to be honest with yourself. Before writing any kanji at all, ask yourself, do I really need that? I mean, how often do I personally write letters, for example? It is really important because it is really time consuming, and I just want to let you know, guys, that in today's world, it is not really that important. If you don't want to live in Japan, but you want to learn Japanese just for fun, like me, this is important. Okay, let's imagine that you want to live in Japan. So this is my piece of advice. So the thing is, in my first part of my video, I was talking about the importance of listening and also of reading. In my first video, I was also talking about how important it is to see as many kanjis as possible. I mean, the most common used kanjis. During the input phase, we are acquiring a lot of kanjis in a way that it seems very natural to us, okay? And also, another good thing about the input phase is also that when we are listening to something, especially when we are using Japanese videos to improve our listening skills, I think you also notice that there are a lot of Japanese subtitles. And this is really good because while we are listening, we see also at the same time a lot of kanjis. And again, I'm going to repeat again, do not try to memorize, just acquire. And this is a great thing because if you are watching a content, a video, which you are really interested in, and also at the same time you see a lot of kanjis, it's going to be easier to acquire them. Why? Because the thing is, you're enjoying. It is true in the beginning it will be difficult because you know nothing, but afterwards, when you often see the same kanjis again and again and again, then it's going to become second nature. I give an example. For example, this one. Okay? So why do we know that? Because we saw that a lot, and a lot. So frequency is the key to success. But yeah, about part 3. I mean, in part 3, I'm going to assume that you already have a good level of kanjis, okay? I was in Japan and I went to a Japanese language school, and also I took a class which was specialized in kanjis. And so here's a good thing. Actually, when you see kanjis, the thing is, you already know how to read these kanjis. Actually, it should not be new for you at all, okay? Because those are things that you already knew before coming to Japan. So this was actually my case. And also another thing is that because you already know how to read it and you've seen these kanjis a lot of times, then it's going to be easier to memorize. Why? Because this is how I experienced it. My brain could immediately know the meaning of this kanji and also say like, okay, this means like that, this means like that, this means like that, okay? I give an example, for example, this one. When I saw this kanji, I immediately knew that, okay, this means far, okay? Why? Because before that, I've been listening to a lot of Japanese videos, and also at the same time I saw a lot of Japanese kanjis which were in form as subtitles. And also before that, I was reading a lot of Japanese, for example, the bilingual book. I hope you can remember that for the first part of this learning series. Because of these previous experiences, it is really easy to memorize them. I mean, to know how to write any kanji at all. Another big advantage is also, at this time I was in Japan. And because I was in Japan, I saw a lot of kanjis every single day. And also because I was able to read these kanjis, it has become much easier and easier. So actually, this is what I'm going to tell you, okay? If you are in Japan and you already have a good understanding of kanjis, I mean, if you're already able to read a lot of kanjis, then I can guarantee you guys, you will make fast progress when it comes to learning how to write kanjis. Why? Because first of all, we acquired a lot of kanjis. Be careful, I said acquired, okay? Not memorized. Because, why acquired? Because it is, I would say, saved in our brain. It has become second nature, okay? Another thing is also, we are in Japan, where you see kanjis every single day. So it is actually impossible not to see the kanjis. And so therefore, I can tell you, in my case, after 1 month, I could really write a lot of kanjis. I think I would say even it took me only 1 month and I could write 100 kanjis. And it was the first time in my life that I wrote any kanjis at all, because before that I was living in Luxembourg and I didn't care at all how to write kanjis, okay? Yes. So, like I said, it is really important to ask yourself, what do I want to do with my Japanese? If you don't want to live in Japan, don't write at all any kanjis, okay? But I can tell you that if you're using your phone, I mean, it is going to be a good thing to install kanjis on your phone. For example, in my case, I have a lot of Japanese speaking friends, and so therefore I'm just going to type anything down. Well, the thing is, at the beginning I only have hiragana, but when you write something, then suddenly on WhatsApp or Messenger or other things where you can talk to other people, different kanjis will be shown, but with the same pronunciation. And so I have to choose which kanji I actually want to use, okay? I'll give an example, okay? For example, this one. I mean, those two have the same pronunciation but two different meanings. And so therefore, while I was typing, maybe these two kanjis are being shown, and so I have to choose which one I want to say. And I'm going to tell you in this way, okay? When it comes to typing kanjis on your phone, it's going to be easier. Why? Because the thing is, everything is automatic, and you only have to choose, okay, I mean this and this and this one. If you don't want to live in Japan, but you have Japanese speaking friends, then yes, it is a great idea to type everything in kanji, okay, also hiragana and katakana. In this case, it makes sense. If you want to live in Japan, then yes, I would say it makes sense to learn how to write kanjis. But because of our previous experiences, I mean with input, it's going to be easier. And also because you are in Japan, I would say like it is a big immersion. I mean, you see kanjis every day, you will make fast progress. Because I could remember when I was in the Japanese language school, there were a lot of students who were learning Japanese for the first time in their life. And for those people, it was much difficult to write any kanjis than, for example, for people like me. Why? Because before coming to Japan, I've been listening to Japanese, I've been reading to Japanese more than 6 months. No, actually, yeah, more than 6 months, more than 10 months, yeah. So I already have experiences, okay? And so for me, it was easier to write those kanjis. So guys, this is a thing what I would like to say, okay? It really depends on you. Because in today's world, it is not really that important to know how to write any kanjis at all. I mean, if you live in a different country where Japanese is not spoken. And yes, so this is my experience about kanjis, okay? Like I said, I've been learning Japanese just for fun. And yeah, it is only the piece of advice I can give to you. Vielen Dank, dass ihr das Video geguckt habt und wir sehen uns demnächst. Adi.